From New York City, I'm Stephen Shalowitz, and this is the One Way Ticket Show. With the economy perpetually in a state of flux, sometimes you just gotta take the bull by the horns. One woman who's done just that and who's teaching women to do the same is Kiana Danial, who joins us today on the One Way Ticket Show. Known to her fans around the world as the Invest Diva and CEO of InvestDiva.com, Kiana is a multilingual foreign exchange or currency trader analyst, award-winning speaker and television personality who was born and raised in Tehran, Iran, and received 2 degrees in electrical engineering from universities in Japan. Kiana is also the author of the just-released Invest Diva's Guide to Making Money in Forex, published by McGraw-Hill. So to talk Forex trading and where she'd go if given a one-way ticket, we warmly welcome the Invest Diva herself, Kiana Danial, aboard the One Way Ticket Show.
Hi, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, it's great to have you aboard. And once again, congratulations on the book. I first met you, about a year or so ago, and the book was just an idea. And so it's great to see that it's all come to fruition. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Well, you're most welcome. Once again, thanks for coming in. But before we get to anything else, just share with our listeners who might not be familiar with Forex trading, exactly what is it?
Yes. So Forex, first of all, the term Forex is the marriage between the term foreign and the term exchange, which refers to currencies. So trading Forex basically means trading the international currencies online the way you trade stocks and taking advantage of the fluctuations of the market and making money off of it.
Great. I'm glad we established that at the top. Well, one of the things I got from your book, Kiana, is that on the whole, women really do make better investors than men. And you put an interesting spin on it because you said that men trade to win and women trade to invest.
This is not my opinion. This is based on a lot of research that has been going on around the world. And it goes back to the male and feminine nature. Women naturally have more patience, and they admit when they're wrong more quickly and they're more easily. Women are more teachable, and they don't have the alpha male complex. It goes back to the women's feminine nature, how they want to protect their offspring, and they want to make money for them, not necessarily to make money to prove to the world that they are the king of the world.
But they want to make money to nurture their offspring.
Exactly. And that's why they take a much more risk-averse step towards trading.
Yeah, because I understand women are much more risk-averse than men. I think it's that testosterone that they don't have, that men have, that creates that sort of more nurturing sense. And I think that more nurturing sense then plays out when we're talking about foreign exchange, foreign currency trading.
Exactly, which is a very risky market. And if you have no patience, if you have a lot of risk appetite, you are very likely to lose a lot of money.
Now, you lived in Japan, and you say in the book that women in Japan are pioneers at in-home Forex trading. And again, we should say Forex trading is foreign exchange trading, right? Foreign currency trading. So how did you come to that? How did you realize that?
So that was actually a very funny story. I did not know about online Forex trading at all. I knew about the currency exchange market because I used to live in Iran, and always at home, our topic of conversation would be the value of dollar, because we had family here and my parents always had to exchange money to send over to America. So I knew about the currency exchange market, but I did not know that you can trade it online and make money off of it. And it was around 2008, right when the crisis happened around the world and Lehman Brothers crashed, and I had no understanding of the financial markets at all. But all I could hear at that point was that the dollar's value is going down. The dollar's value is going down. And I had a lot of yen by that point.
You were a student in Japan.
I was a student, but I was doing a lot of activities on the side. I was on TV and I was making good money off of it. And I knew that at some point I'm going to come to the US and I wanted to have my dollars. And I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to exchange my yen to dollar. But the dollar value was going down so rapidly, I did not know when it is going to stop, or like when is the best time to exchange it? When is the lowest point? And out of nowhere, I was talking about this to my Japanese mom. And I was like, yeah, I want to change my yen to dollar, but the dollar's value is going down and I cannot check it all the time. I wish I could do this. And she was like, yeah, there's already a program exists and it's called Forex. It's called online Forex trading. You can actually, in fact, set a stop for your trade and sell your yen at the price that you think is going to be the lowest point. And that is how I was introduced to Forex trading by a woman in Japan.
And was she trading already?
Yes, she was already trading. And she...
So instead of Tupperware parties in Japan, they have Forex trading parties in Japan?
Probably, yes.
Or else you can start one. By the way, so you were on television in Japan. You must have been a real curiosity. Here's an Iranian girl speaking fluent Japanese.
Yes. They called me the rebellious one because, they didn't know what I was. I was like Jewish, I was Iranian, and I was speaking Japanese, and they were very interested to see me on TV.
And that's why you're such a star in Japan, and you're very well recognized there today. So now we know how Japanese women spend their time at home by Forex trading.
That is, okay, so one of the reasons why I think Japanese women actually got into this is that Japanese women culturally are in charge of household finances. And the men, they bring the money in and they give it directly to the woman, and she manages it. And somehow they got into the trading thing and they got really good at it. And actually, women in Japan, sometimes because a lot of women trade there, they are a force of the yen's movements from time to time because they trade at the same time in large amounts.
Is that right?
I've read that in magazines and newspapers.
How about in your home country of Iran?
In Iran, so I have heard that a lot of women actually trade Forex through Dubai, though, because, of all the sanctions, Iranians, they cannot trade directly. They cannot trade the dollar. But there are ways, and they get away with it, and they actually trade. And I have a lot of fans in Iran, and they ask me a lot of questions, and they're so knowledgeable, and they ask me really technical questions. I'm like, how do you know about this? You cannot even trade. So they actually trade through other countries.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second. In one sentence each, would you like to say hello to your fans in both Iran and in Japan, in Japanese and in Farsi?
All right, so 日本人の皆さんこんにちは and in Farsi Salam.
All right. We're going to take that. And I know you speak both languages fluently. And in the interest of time, we'll leave it at that. Well, listen, Kiana, as I said, you grew up in Iran, male-dominated society. You went to school in male-dominated Japan. You studied electrical engineering. There aren't too many women doing that. So if anyone can really talk credibly about competing in a man's world, it's definitely you. And Forex tends to be very much of a boys' club, if you will.
In the U.S., yes.
In the U.S. So what's your advice to other women then, Kiana, who have to put up with all that testosterone when it comes to foreign exchange trading?
So the first thing is that they do not have to put up with anything. My method is trading based on your own feminine skills, actually. I'm not asking women to become men. I'm not asking them to trade like men. I'm asking them to leverage their feminine skills, their risk averseness, their patience, and trade their own way. And that is what my whole online education course and my whole book is about. And I can't say that about electrical engineering because I was the only girl in my class, and that was pretty tough, I must say. But I think that was the base of where I am today. That taught me how to just do my thing my own way.
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on this show, Kiana, is not only because we spoke about this book, the germ of an idea, as I said earlier on, over a year ago or so, and now it's great just to see that it's come to fruition, but because a couple of episodes ago, we had John Gersma on the show, and he just wrote a book called The Athena Doctrine, and which I know that you heard that interview, and he talks about female values and how women and men who think like women will rule the future. What you're talking about very much dovetails to his book and to his findings.
Absolutely, yes. I'm not going to say that women are going to rule the world. I think there must be a balance between men and women. I think the best scenario, even in Forex trading is when a woman brings her risk averseness and a man brings her logical thinking, and together they can make the best trades. That is what I believe.
Right. Well, back to the book then. You truly take a boring subject, or I think it's not that exciting, if you will, and really jazz it up. You have serious sounding chapters, but you also have whimsical ones too, like, and I love these two, the names of these, Forex Beauty Kit. And you also have one called Romantic Candle Patterns. So
Yes.
how did you come up with those?
So, as you said, Forex can be very intimidating just by its name, but it's actually not. And I was thinking, all right, I'm targeting women, and I want women to really relate to this. What do women relate to most? It's beauty. And so the Forex...
And it's not being sexist by saying it.
It's not at all. So the Forex Beauty Kit, it's actually a metaphor for the indicators when you're trying to do technical analysis on a Forex platform.
And that romantic candle patterns?
Well, that is the charts. The charts are full of candles. They're actually called candles.
Oh, I didn't know
so
that.
So I just added the term, the adjective romantic to
yeah.
it to make it more romantic.
And to make it more appealing for those
Yeah.
women that are reading your book, or guys that are reading the book as well.
Absolutely. And actually like making trading more fun as well. After I came up with these metaphors, now when I trade, I have a lot more fun because I'm like, oh, look at these candles. They're so romantic. And
As long as the candles don't get blown out.
They don't. That's the beauty of it.
Okay. Well, I really also liked how you described the Forex world as being like one big party.
Yes, international party.
It's an international party.
Yes.
Thanks for correcting me.
It's an international party. Why? Because when you trade currencies, they always come in pairs. You have dollar and yen traded together, and you have euro and dollar being traded together. So currencies always come in pairs. So you have a party full of couples.
So it's like taking a international date to the party.
Absolutely.
And as long as the dates don't break up,
As
you're
long as the
winning.
dates are from a different ethnicity. So if you're American, your partner needs to be from either Japan or Europe or any exotic country.
well, I'm
in
going to
Europe.
pick a Japanese lady because it seems like they're spending all
I
their
bet
time
you
trading
do.
Forex. So, it's going to be a win-win situation there. Well, but the beauty of Forex trading is really that anyone, anywhere in the world with internet access, man or woman, can actually trade.
Absolutely.
I mean, it
And-
doesn't matter where they are. They can be in a remote village somewhere.
And anytime, it's 24/5 actually. So like the stock market, it stops at 4 or 5, right? But the beauty of Forex is that you can trade at night, in the morning, whenever you wish and wherever you wish.
Well, the only thing that's holding me up trading right now is my asking you our big question, Kiana, and I think you know what that is, right? And one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, apart from talking about your book, which again, congratulations on. So, Kiana Danial, if I gave you a one-way ticket, where would you go?
So, Stephen, this is the hardest questions I've ever heard.
And you were an electrical engineering student. You mean
Exactly.
none of your professors asked you as difficult a question?
None of them. I had to give this some serious thinking because I'm the biggest traveler and I cannot just sit in one place. But you give me no choice and I have to come up with an answer. And I have to say, because of my background and all my goals and everything that I want to do in the future, if I could ever get a one-way ticket, it would be to a place where men and women are equally active in politics, finance, and other male-dominated industries and markets, because I believe in that era, that is when we can see true world peace and true successful economy, because there is harmony in the world because men and women are working together. So that is my answer.
When do you think that that's going to be?
After,
How long will it take place?
It's hopefully going to be after a lot of women have read my current book and hopefully my
Follow-up book.
follow-up books.
Are you working on a follow-up book
I
now?
have the ideas and
Do you care to share them with us? Or is that a bit too premature?
It is a bit premature, but my largest goal is to get women into male-dominated industries. Could it be politics or even engineering? So we're working on that, but my overall goal is to get more and more women empowered to participate in all these industries that they're actually very skilled to do, but they're scared to do so.
What do you think, Kiana, are some of the stumbling blocks to get them involved in politics, in finance, in government, in traditionally male-dominated professions?
I think it's only them. They have to step up. Because I'll tell you a funny story over here. I am from Iran, and you think that Iran is the biggest male-dominated country ever.
I was there, you know.
Yes, and I've seen your pictures. Awesome.
Thank you.
But guess what? I was the only female in my engineering school in Japan. Guess how many girls are in engineering schools in Iran? 60% of the schools are female in Iran. Despite all the suppressing and the pressures from the government, women step up. And that was very interesting for me to see here in the United States, the country that talks about freedom and women's rights. Women are not in these industries. I think they just don't want to do that. They're so comfortable in their comfort zone, or they don't see a reason to do it, or they think it's not sexy, which is, again, also an irony, because my brother used to tell me that you shouldn't do engineering because it's not a sexy topic. A lot of guys, when they meet me, they're like, oh my God, we did not see that coming. And they're very...
And when they see your picture, they'll know what your brother's talking about. But actually, it's interesting, though, because if you're a woman and you want to meet a smart guy, then wouldn't you want to go and study what all the guys are studying?
Exactly.
Because the odds are that you're going to meet someone.
I mean, then you may get a really geeky guy. No, that's fine. No, that was a joke. But that's true. That's absolutely true.
So that's really interesting what you said, that 60% of those students in Iran that are studying engineering are women.
Yes.
And here in the United States, I would imagine that the percentage of women studying engineering vis-a-vis men is minuscule.
Minuscule. In Forex trading, 98% of traders are men. Engineering, I've seen people who said they had close to zero.
But you know what I think
class.
part of the problem is that we here in the United States, we don't emphasize enough math and science, and we take the easy way out. Because if you look at those countries that score best on traditional math and science tests, the United States always ranks far lower than other countries.
That could be true, because I've never gone to high school in the US, obviously, but I've heard comparing the level of our studies in high school in Iran and in Japan was much higher than the ones in the US. I think the college in US is probably really high level, but until high school...
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but I think like high school and middle school is when a kid's brain is the most productive. And I think Americans are not just taking advantage of that.
Well, I tend to agree with you. So, Kiana, you want your one-way ticket written out to a time or place where there will be an equal amount of men and women in politics, finance, and other male-dominated professions. I'm wondering then, what profession do you think is going to be that profession that really leads the way in terms of male-female equality?
That would be politics.
And we're seeing some movement now, right?
We are. And I'm actually very happy to see a lot of men encouraging women to go into the politic field. I'm actually getting emails from professors in universities telling me that, yes, we're actually encouraging our girl students to go into these fields and they want to work with me. So I think there is definitely a hope that we will see more and more women in these fields, and that will bring a more peaceful future.
So for your one-way ticket destination, is there anything you'd like to take with you, Kiana?
Oh my God.
Besides your book?
No, actually, I'm not going to take my book with me, because in that era, probably my book is not needed anymore because everybody know about Forex by that time. But what I would take with me, could it be my family?
You can take your family.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, because it's a time in the future and you probably want them with you.
I don't want to be there alone.
You don't. So you're not going to take anything with you, but you'll take your family.
I mean, I would say I want to take my iPhone, but by that time, that's going to be like, so outdated.
But how many years do you think we're talking about here?
So I'm really not sure. I think it's going to be very near in the future, because just think about it. Women didn't have voting rights in America like over 100 years ago. And they are getting more and more involved. We have a lot of female doctors. They're getting into a lot of masculine industries already. they just haven't touched upon finance and politics as much. So I'm guessing it could be in my lifetime, actually.
Are there any particular women today that you admire?
Oh, absolutely. Hillary Clinton.
Okay, I'm sure you're not alone in that. Have you met her?
No.
Not yet.
No, I've been here only 3 years. So.
Okay, well, you know what? I think if you send her a copy of your book, I'm sure she will read it.
Oh my God, that's an amazing idea.
Isn't it? And I'm sure she will get back to you because you definitely have a message for a lot of women out there, and she is all about empowering women.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, Kiana, you're currently working to help empower women so that they can progress themselves in Forex trading. But you want your one-way ticket to be to a time when there's an equal amount of participation between men and women. So you're helping them now, but what are you going to do once you get to your destination? Because there's already going to be an equal amount of men and women involved in things like Forex trading, finance, politics, and so forth. So what are you going to do then?
I'm going to be feeling very satisfied. I'm going to be taking care of my family and trade Forex on the side.
That's a good answer. By that time, you probably would have amassed a great wealth that you would...
From the book.
Absolutely. Hopefully from the book, from royalties from the book, and also from Forex trading because you know what you're doing. Well, Kiana, when you first came in here and I asked you about where you wanted your one-way ticket to, you said it was the hardest question that you ever were asked. But actually, the work that you're doing now in educating women about Forex trading, the book that you just wrote that's out right now, is really helping you to get to your one-way ticket destination of a time when men and women are on equal footing, have equal participation in professions like finance, in Forex trading, in politics, and so forth.
Exactly. I love your observation. And I think thanks to you, I just won my one-way ticket to the bright future that I'm hoping for.
Kiana, I got to thank you for that. And we're going to leave it at that. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us here on the One-Way Ticket Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, again, the book is called Invest Diva's Guide to Making Money in Forex. It's published by McGraw-Hill and now on sale at Amazon.com or at a bookstore near you. And if you'd like to learn more about our guest, Kiana Danial, just log on to her website. It's investdiva.com. Once again, investdiva.com. There's also info about Kiana on our website, theonewayticketshow.com. Make sure you like us at facebook.com/theonewayticketshow for news about Kiana and all of our other fascinating guests. Subscribe to us on iTunes and follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at TOWT Show. Once again, at TOWT Show. And with that, it's a wrap for this edition of the One-Way Ticket Show. I'm Stephen Shalowitz, and for the entire crew, we'll see you next time.